right, what's up, guys? I'm Matt.
I'm Kieran.
Welcome back to the Fratsketball podcast. Today we're going to be going over our West All Stars. If you guys haven't seen our last episode, we just covered our East All Stars. So go check that one out. Definitely some good conversations that we had in there. Maybe some stuff that'll surprise you guys. So I would definitely recommend going check that one out.
Yeah, we definitely didn't talk about Derek White at all in that podcast. We'll just skip right past that. And if that one was hard to narrow it down, this is going to be even harder because the West is absolutely stacked.
Yeah, we're gonna.
I thought we might have I remember last year the East was really good. The East was had a better record than the West, for the first time forever. But the East is looking like the Eastern Conference. The West is the best. And do I have 12? I think I might have 12 locks. So we might just be done. So name your locks. Let's start with your locks.
All right. Give me just a second. You want to start with yours real quick? I'm looking at something.
I'll start with mine. I'll give you a second. So Luka Doncic.
Yes.
Nikola Jokic.
Yes.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
I have those three as well.
Steph Curry. How many more names do I want to say? I don't want to say all these names because I feel like they're all stars, but also we only have 12. I'm gonna go Kevin Durant. I'm gonna go LeBron James and Anthony Davis. I'm gonna stop there.
Okay.
Do you have all those players in?
Yes.
Do you say no?
I do. Yes, I do.
Okay, I was gonna say.
No, I definitely do. So yeah, like you said, I have them as well. Were those your starters?
Okay, those are just I have it in tiers, so that was just my tier one.
Okay.
For my starters. Okay. So Jokic and my backcourt. So Jokic is starting in my backcourt.
Okay.
So is Anthony Davis, and so is Kevin Durant.
Okay. I like that. I don't know if you can do this, honestly. So if you can, I'll switch real quick. But my backcourt, I have Jokic and Kevin Durant as well. For my fifth spot, I have Devin Booker, and then right now I have three guards.
Okay.
Right now, I know we've been ripping on the Suns as a team, but individually, Kevin Durant and Devin Booker both do their thing night in, night out.
Yeah.
You know,
who's better right now?
Oh, that's a good one. It's
hard. I feel like Kevin Durant's been getting very slightly worse, as the years go on. Not because he's falling off or anything, but age just kind of catches up, and he's been slowly regressing. Not super bad, but and then Devin Booker's just been getting better. These last playoffs, he averaged 35 points per game on 80% shooting or something like that. So it's he has the playoff kind of punch in this last year. And Kevin Durant is usually good in the playoffs as well. So it's I don't really know who to take.
Yeah, so I'm looking at both the stats right now, and KD's averaging 30.9, so we'll call that 31 a game, 6.2 boards and 5.4 assists on 24 games. He's turned the ball over. He's turned it over 3.5 times a game. And Devin Booker has only played 19 games this year, but he's averaging 27.7, 5.5 boards, and 8.2 assists, which I think is a very underlooked part of Devin Booker's game. Yeah. He's definitely figured out the playmaking aspect, and he turns the ball over just a little bit less than Kevin Durant, and he has a 2.9 turnover per game. So he definitely takes care of it a little bit better. So it's so hard, but I still have to say it's Kevin Durant. It's Devin Booker's team, but Kevin Durant is better.
That's so hard because if I wanted one shot, kind of in the Brooklyn versus Milwaukee series a couple years ago, obviously Kevin Durant is taking that last shot because he can shoot over anybody. But like you said, Devin Booker stepped up in the playmaking role. I don't think he's 8 assists per game good in terms of assists because he kind of had to step into the point guard role. And those aren't like, he's not like a Luka Doncic passer. He's not like a, he's not that level passer, but he has stepped up in that department, and he's basically just as efficient as Kevin Durant. They're both great mid-range scorers. They're both great three-point shooters.
Yeah, they're two of the
And
best ISO ball players in the league. I could even see the argument of you making them being like, I know whatever, call me crazy, but like a 1 and 2 type of thing. They are both so good at getting to their spots and getting shots up.
okay, but actually, I think I'm agreeing with you now because I just looked, and Kevin Durant is currently leading the league in 3-point percentage at
Yeah,
47%.
47. It's crazy.
On 24 games, which is like he's probably going to shoot 40, 43% from three this year. And that's elite. That's like Kevin Durant is a really good three-point shooter, but like I wouldn't say he's an elite 3-point shooter in his career, but like this year he's having like an elite year from three.
Yes.
I think that would I think I'll agree with you. I think I'm going to put Kevin Durant. I mean, I have Kevin Durant in my starting lineup, but I was wondering if I would put Devin Booker in my starting lineup as well.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Right. All right. Who do you have in your backcourt?
Luka.
Me too.
And I'm sorry, Steph, but regardless of the team, even especially after the game that Steph Curry had today, I think Shea has just surpassed him. Shea's a better defender right now.
My man.
He is, he's quicker. He has a good handle, not as good as Steph, obviously, but he's able to manipulate the game in so many different ways. He's such a shifty player. He has some similarities to Steph Curry. Obviously, not as good of a shooter, not even close. But Curry's had some bad games this year, and he's been asked to step up and carry the team, and he's been doing it pretty well. But I think Shea just right at this point, this season at least, he's a better player. That next spot though, I mean, Steph Curry is obviously an all-star, so I'll put Steph Curry, right there. LeBron James, right outside, that starting five.
Yep.
So
I have Anthony Davis outside of my starting five, just because I had Book in there. Again, I don't know how front court and back court works if you need 3 front court. Because if you do, I'm going to put AD over Book. But yeah,
I'd put AD over Book as well. In terms of the reason even if it was just positionless starting five, just like all NBA is going to be positionless this year, but for some reason all star is not, which is kind of weird. I think Anthony Davis is a better player than Devin Booker this year, just because he's been an incredible defender, and he has also stepped up his offensive game as well. Still not shooting super well. He's kind of on and off with that. Yeah, but I think his impact is a little bit greater. They're kind of neck and neck for me. We don't have to argue too much about that. So there's our 5. LeBron, Devin Booker, that's 7. De'Aaron Fox.
I do have De'Aaron Fox in there as well. Yes.
So that's 9. Anthony Edwards, I'd assume. Yeah, in there.
So man, of course I got Ant in there. Yes.
These next 2 spots are kind of hard though.
Yeah.
Do you have Karl Anthony? Can I guess? Do you have Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert?
I have one. I have one. Yes, I do. I do have Rudy Gobert. But it's this 12th spot is it's just so hard in the West, just because of how many deserving people there are of this spot. Sengun has had a great year. Chet's had a great year. Sabonis, Desmond Bain, just to name a couple off the top of my head. So this 12th spot is.
Yeah, man. Is a Clipper is a LA Clipper not in there at all? You're not going to put Kawhi Leonard in there. You're not going to put Paul George in there. You're not going to put James Harden in there.
Not James Harden.
Yeah.
I think if I were to put anybody, it'd be Kawhi Leonard. He's definitely him and PG are both in my honorable mentions list. I think you could make the argument for Kawhi Leonard. I think Kawhi Leonard will make the All-Star team. But yeah, I'm kind of I'm torn right now between Cat, Kawhi Leonard, and Domantas Sabonis right now.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, I don't have Cat quite there. I think that Cat has definitely improved on the defensive side of the ball this year, and that's kind of helped um, the defensive identity of the Timberwolves. And he's obviously the best like 3-point shooting big man of all time. Some Mavs fan might say Dirk Nowitzki, but
he's not the best shooting big man of all time.
best 3-point shooting big man of all time. Who is better?
What was
Dirk
Larry
Nowitzki?
Bird? Was Larry Bird listed as a small forward?
Well, he's a small forward, yeah. So I wouldn't say he's a
Okay.
big man.
Well, there was some, I don't remember exactly where. When I'm editing, I'll try to find this stat somewhere. It's gonna be somewhere. I'm gonna have to do some deep digging. But I was watching this video on something, and there was somebody else. It was Dirk or Larry Bird. I don't remember what the classification was, but like the numbers were that Cat was number two. He was up there, but Cat was number two.
In terms of
3 point.
like
I,
percentage
I don't
or
I don't remember. There was a bunch of stuff taken into account for. But yeah, I respect you. I don't know.
I'm just talking about pure 3-point shooting.
Yeah.
Obviously, Dirk Nowitzki is a better overall scorer, overall shooter.
Yeah.
We can disagree, but they're both top. They're both top two. That's the two right there.
Yeah. That's our point.
There's some other great ones in terms of shooting in general. Obviously, Kevin Garnett is not one of the best 3-pointers, but he's a great shooting big man.
Best trash talker, man.
Best trash. We need to have a podcast about that. Who's the best trash talker in NBA history?
Right,
if you
bro.
say Draymond Green, I might punch you like he'd punch Jordan Poole. Draymond Green makes me laugh.
The 1-2 Ray Rice.
So yeah, I'll put Rudy Gobert in there. He's the best defender in the NBA right now. He's a better defender overall than Anthony Davis right now. So if I have him in there, even though Rudy Gobert is not really much of an offensive player, he's got to be in there because of his defense.
Right.
Could I offer you an Alperen Şengün?
Yeah. I would. Okay. I would listen to what you had to say there. I have him in my honorable mentions. I don't think he's going to get the nod just because he's in Houston. He's young. I feel like Houston isn't getting as much credit as they deserve this year.
No, but in terms of what you think, like, do you think he's good enough to get the 12 spot?
Oh, I'm sorry, bro, but yeah, I definitely do.
Okay. So, Domantas Sabonis, Alperen Şengün. I'm gonna go with Chet Holmgren. I'm taking Chet Holmgren over Kawhi Leonard. I'm taking Chet Holmgren over Alperen Şengün. I'm taking Chet Holmgren over Domantas Sabonis this year. He's been one of the best rim protectors this year. He's like second in blocks. I know Victor Wembanyama's up there, but if we're talking about like efficiency and we're talking about like his ability to add value to his team, like he's basically just the perfect pairing with the other all-star from the Thunder this year, who's definitely going to make it, Shea. But I don't know if Chet's going to make it. Chet is just absolutely mind-blowing. Like he's almost averaging 50, 40, 90 this year.
Yeah. Yes, he is. Wow. 52% from the field, 37% from three, 85% from the line.
Not as much, not as good as he was. Like he was averaging actually 50, 40, 90 earlier in the year.
Yeah.
But as
2.7 blocks per game. That stands out. Almost a steal a game, too. 17, 8, and 2.5 on almost 3 blocks and a steal a game as a rookie.
Yeah. And he has these blocks where he just blocks the ball like with his elbow. And it's just ridiculous. Like the like agility that he has is like only matched by at his height is only matched by Victor Wembanyama.
Yeah.
And
he's
better than Victor Wembanyama this year. So
I agree. I'm super big on Chet as well. I think Chet's going to be a problem for years to come. I definitely think that the Chets and the Victor Wembanyama's, I think we're starting to see a new era of what a big man is considered in the NBA. Maybe not necessarily with just the build, but with like the skill set. Victor can pass. Victor can shoot. Chet can shoot, Chet can pass. Embiid is developing his passing a lot. Obviously, you have the Jokic, Sengun, Sabonis, just big men that can kind of do it all. I feel like that's starting to become the new prototype uh, big man in the league. Because something that I think is kind of crazy, if you look back, if you date back to like the 80s and the 90s in basketball, you obviously, like, if you were, say, like a Big Ten player of the year, like an SEC player of the year, like something along those lines, right? You were one of the top picks in the draft. You were seen as like on somebody that was borderline unpassable, as just being like a dominant big or like a shooter or something like that, right? Two of the most recent Big Ten players of the year, um, one is currently on a two-way contract, who is Luka Garza, right? Like, granted, you have a ton of big men in Minnesota and stuff like that, but he went in like the late second round, and Luka Garza doesn't necessarily possess the threat to pass the ball and stuff like that. And it's the same thing with Zach Edey. Last year, Purdue, he won National Player of the Year. He struggles to play make for himself, and he's kind of just get the ball, go back up with it, can't stretch the floor or anything like that, which is why I don't think he declared, which is why I think he's going to be like a late second round to undrafted player,
Yeah, the definition of a big man has definitely changed over the years. The traditional power forward position has kind of died out, and obviously it's better to be taller in basketball. If NBA teams could have 5 players that are 6'10" on the floor, they would. However, like, why is small ball a thing? Like, I don't think that's, when the Warriors kind of invented small ball, it only worked because all of those players were skilled. Like, Klay Thompson could shoot it, because Steph Curry could shoot it, because Harrison Barnes is a good all-around player, because Draymond Green is an incredibly versatile defender, and also could put up double-digit points back then, which you can't really do anymore.
right?
But so teams around the league kind of were like, okay, we need a bunch of small players. They need to all be good. The Houston Rockets did this as well. In like 2018, they were an incredibly great team. They had a bunch of good shooters. But I really think that it's not small ball. It's really skill ball. Like, you really need to have 5 players out there that are skilled. And if those 5 players can be tall, that's an advantage to you, right? And now that big men are actually able to do things on the court besides just run and dunk the ball and shoot 60% from the free throw line, once they have this higher level of skill, there's not enough tall players in the world to have 5-7 footers in every NBA team.
Right.
But I mean, like, if if a team could have 5-7 footers who could all shoot and pass and rebound and whatever, I know that's like a 2K like creative team, but like,
right.
they would do that. It's not, you don't need to have a 6'0" point guard on your team to facilitate. He doesn't need to be, if he was 7 feet tall and he could play, mate, like, that's who Nikola Jokic is. He's a 7-foot tall point guard.
Right. Absolutely. So with that being said, that kind of wraps up our top 12 and who we think is going to be our Western All-Stars. So kind of while we're wrapping this up, if you had to take a wild prediction on who is going to be the MVP this year, who would you say out of the players that we've selected, both East and West?
If it's anyone besides the big man in Denver or the big man in Philly, I'd be incredibly surprised. Maybe Luka Doncic could snatch that, but it's really a toss-up between Jokic and Embiid for me. And I think we have to do a separate podcast on this. But just off rip, I guess Embiid. I'm just kind of leading Embiid. I could definitely go to Jokic though. So
100%. I think that it could possibly be Luka Doncic, and the sleeper pick that I actually have is Trae Young. Trae Young, dude can shoot the shit out of the ball from like 40, 45 feet and makes it look effortless. He's super fun to watch in the All-Star game when he gets heating up. I'm not going to say he's like a Luka Doncic type of player, but once the shots start falling, it's hard to cool them off.
Well, he is a lot like Luka Doncic. He's very, ball heavy. He needs the ball to score. Doesn't play a ton of defense. Trae Young's obviously a lot smaller.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm having my MVP conversation. Just to go through the West All-Stars.
Not the All-Star game MVP. You don't think?
Oh, I thought you meant regular season MVP.
No, All-Star game MVP, big guy.
Okay, so a little bit of confusion. Yeah, Trae Young could. Yeah, totally. Trae Young could win it. Totally. Yeah. I'm totally 100% with you on that. I think I would. I'll pick Damian Lillard. Actually, no, I'll pick Jalen Brunson. I'm picking Jalen Brunson. He's been on a heater,
That's a good
and
pick. I like that. I like that.
he plays for the. I don't know, he plays for the Knicks. If you play for the Knicks, I don't know, something that just happens whenever you
Right.
on a big stage. So let's just run through the West All Stars: Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, Steph Curry, Kevin Durant, Anthony Davis, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, LeBron James, Devin Booker, De'Aaron Fox, Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert, Chet Holmgren.
Yep.
So
And then
that
I
wraps up
have
the pod for today.
yeah. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Sorry, this was a little bit of a shorter episode, but we got stuff going on. Holiday season, it's a little bit busy, so we're just trying to get some stuff pumped out. He's going on a trip, so yeah, appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you guys in the next one.